Hello and welcome, this is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more of the multi-consumer products playthrough of Stellaris using the MegaCorp DLC. Okay, so we've got some things going on with the robots where we have a couple different types now. And we're looking to build an outpost here, as well as get more ships. Speaking of which, we did have one pop out, which we're going to send down to here, so it goes to our main fleet. So I think I'm going to build one more destroyer, perhaps. And then we'll start trying to crank out corvettes as fast as we can. And how are we doing from a power perspective? Because that's always a concern of mine. Still overwhelming, and somehow, well, yeah, definitely somehow he's gotten superior in economics, so that is a concern. How are they doing on the war? 58 to 38, so it is actually now a 20% advantage to the defender, which is our friend, so that's good. All I care is that the alliance that this guy has does not win. That's all I care. I'm willing to do what it takes to make sure that doesn't happen. Okay. So let's go ahead and queue up the outpost. And then I want to get to building things. So let's go into the market. Go to alloys. Okay, alloys are, you know, quite expensive right now, and I think that's because of the war. These are being bought up. These are just terrible prices. I don't like having to pay that kind of prices for things. So I'm going to go ahead and sell off 100 of these. Because why not? We have production of it, but I'm not really using it at the moment. And that will just continue to build at the moment. So yeah, let's go ahead and sell off some. And then we'll use that cash somewhere. Really sure where. I really need alloys. Sure, fine. What we need. Okay, that will allow me to build over at Forum. Well, as our last destroyer. And then we'll start producing corvettes. At least that's my original game plan. We could just focus more on destroyers if we want to, but we could do a 1-per-1, because right now the corvettes outnumber the destroyers. I mean, I have to look at this fleet to see specifically what we need. But I think the ratio that I had at the moment was 1 to 3.
Upscaling complete.
Oh, okay, we've got anomaly. Yeah, we definitely produce these destroyers very fast. That's a good thing. All right, so what are we looking at? We've got 10 destroyers to 15 corvettes, and then we've got 2 more coming in, so that'd be 12 to 15. So if we think about it that way, we'd want another 3 destroyers, perhaps. Okay, well, that's a way to do it. I may need minerals fairly soon, because we're going to want to grab all these resources, and that's going to be kind of expensive. So we've got 27, 30, okay. 30 jobs. So I am going to need more jobs here at some point soon. And Hicklum is even more of a problem. So what resource are we most lacking? Probably mining.
Complete.
Okay. That was the Holo Theater.
Upscaling complete.
Okay, so we have control of this system now. So we just grab, and I'm going to start by building a research outpost here, because that is a lot of science, and that's probably the most valuable thing we can get out of this system. So that's what we're going to do. But I am a little concerned about our consumer products. Now, we know that there's upgrades we can get, but the dilemma that I have, we can go ahead and build a couple more destroyers now, or at least just one for now. They're not quite close enough together. There we go. So yeah, 3 more destroyers, I think is the right we're going to go. Okay, research done. Let's pick new research. All right, we've got gene clinics, which are going to do what? It's going to give us medical worker jobs. We're going to turn consumer goods into amenities and pop growth speed. It gives 10 amenities and 10% growth. Okay, it's a cheap one. Fleet command, absolutely don't need. Business management nexus. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Gives us 4 manager jobs, which consume consumer goods into Unity, trade value, and society research. So this is going to be an upgrade to our already existing building. Okay. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, consumer goods is a little bit of a problem for us. But out of the bunch, I wouldn't necessarily mind taking gene clinics because of the cheap value, and it does give you some amenities. Although this gives us trade value, which may be actually more valuable, at least for us anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that because I think it's the thing that's more valuable for us in particular. Okay, let's continue. Okay, governor leveling up.
Upscaling complete.
All right, so we got a couple things happening all at once. You are going to produce another destroyer because we can afford it. You are going to, not that. I'm going to come over here and build a station here because, again, high resources there. Then we'll probably go over and grab the star and then the other things that are in here. But the science that we just picked up is going to be very meaningful. So that's good. Non-aggression pact between... Okay. But that's these little guys here. How's our one science ship with its exploration? Okay, it's still moving along. Are you all done surveying? Oh, you are. Alright. I missed that. Okay. We'll go ahead and do the anomalies. So there was not a lot in this system. But we'll keep surveying down this tree just to see what we see, but... we're mostly just keeping our scientists busy at this point. Oh, and we do want to send this ship down this way. So how are we doing fleet strength-wise now? We're looking at 2.3k. We're going to have...
upscaling complete.
Shields coming out soon. Grab both the ships. And have them both come down this way. Alright, so we don't have enough resources to quite pull off another destroyer, and that will be our last one as well. So the rest I think I'll crank out Well, I say that. Maybe we just go with destroyers on other places as well. Okay, the Exile. The readings originate from a small research outpost, which the Mother Consumer Products has no records of establishing or indeed authorizing on the surface of such and such. It is staffed by one Gorathian scientist, a fairly talented and industrious one, if their research on such and such is anything to go by. There's a problem with regards to their identity, however. We have been unable to match them against official state records, and they refuse to identify themselves save for stating they are an exile. They have expressed interest in returning to Gorath and serving the multi-consumer products directly on the condition that MCPS such and such immediately depart and no Gorathian ships ever return there. Okay, so we get a leader, or we get physics research. The leader could be more valuable, especially as... Let me take a look at that really quickly. We want to go under leaders. I think, for the most part, our scientists are fairly young, except for the ones that are leading our science ships. Those are quite old and could die at any moment. Except for this guy here, our other scientists are fairly young. So the leader is probably more valuable than just the raw 350. So you know what? We'll welcome the person. Okay, what did we get? We got, well, they're 42, they're level 3, and expertise propulsion, which actually could serve us. Maybe even very soon. Let's take a look at our actual technology. Okay, it's not the right tech tree, but definitely the scientist we just got is a higher level than the one that's currently researching here. So in that regard, I'm gonna go ahead and use that person. Also, this is the particular field, engineering, where this expertise can come up. So definitely we want to keep that person staffed where it will be a little bit more important, but also they're higher level, so we're going to get faster research anyway. So there we go. Okay, let's continue. Oh, that means our science ship doesn't have anything to do. So we'll send it down this way. Okay. The more anomalies like that we find, the better off we'll be.
Upscaling complete.
And if one of our scientists on the ships die, then we have a backup. Okay. And our mining station is finished. Okay, grab our construction ship. Send it here. And then just so I don't forget, I'm also send it there. And there. That takes care of that. I don't have to pay attention to this as much anymore. And that'll be the end of our construction ship for the meantime. We almost have enough minerals to build another destroyer. We'll get close to doing that. Yeah, we can do it now. Then I'm not sure what we're going to do after that. That'll leave us at a point where we're at 66, so we could build a number of things. Let's really quickly take a look at our other fleet. Our other fleet has 3... Well, we have 2 destroyers, 1 frigate. That's that frigate we picked up a long time ago. And 9 here. So we could do the 1-per-1 parity, but in that regard, we'd want another 6 destroyers. And at that point, we would be out of naval capacity. Here, we're already at that 1-per-1. So you know what? Let's just go pure destroyers at this stage. They're a little bit more expensive, but they should be more combat value anyway, so we'll go with that. Now, what is the best... Okay, another thing that doesn't really affect us. We've got rivalries, we've got migration treaties. The Imperium Berber is the guys that like us the most, but we really... Oh, we can offer them a migration treaty. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm not sure if anybody's actually moved into our planets. Oop, that's not what I want. I'm going to say probably not, but... We're about to have a population point here soon. Okay. So the one I was mostly worried about is over here on Hicklum, because we're going to run out of jobs before we get another building. So I'm thinking going for mining. Obviously, we can't afford it just yet, but that would push us even further in our little issue with our Empire Sprawl, where we're at this stage 12 over, and that will only get worse.
Actualized.
Okay. So the robot upgrade has happened. And then they have agreed to that. Okay. So, over here. Where is that robot population? So this robot pot now has this. So it should be cranking out food at a higher rate. And the more of those we produce, we'll try to keep an eye on it, make sure they're going into the proper jobs. And we'll move population around as needed as well to facilitate that kind of stuff. All right, well, let's continue. I should probably actually look at our other contacts, see if we have any other things we can do. Like, we're kind of on friendly terms with these guys. Defensive Pact is still a ways away, although they're closer, I think, than the other guys. Yeah, it doesn't look like we can do a whole lot else. As a matter of fact, where are these guys? As far as talking to us goes. With this. Alright, 35. So they're a little closer than they were before. Probably that migration treaty helped. What about Mandate of Loken? I know they're a long way away from us. But is there anything we could do with them? I mean, because like a research agreement would be, I think, high on my priority list. Vagaros, they're a little closer. But they too are a ways away from what we're looking at. Okay, well, it was worth taking a look. Because I would eventually like to get alliances. We may have to depend on the aliens themselves throwing us a bone, more or less. Okay, you're getting closer to your exploration goal. I'll go ahead and have you explore there as well.
Upscaling complete.
Okay, we got another destroyer popped out. And that's going to be the last destroyer I produce in this shipyard. So from that point on, we're probably going to switch to Serafe. Unfortunately, we can't afford it at the moment. We just don't have enough alloy production to really get things going. Let's go ahead and merge these suckers. Okay, we have a new faction. Xeno Compassion Institute. Take a look at our factions, because we probably pissed one off by changing the slavery policy. The Church of Divine Guidance, they're never going to like me. Looks like these guys are never going to like me either. Yeah, just about everything. So we have a lot of factions in our empire, and very few of them actually like me. The only ones that really like me are the Patriotic Vanguard. Thankfully, they're actually the biggest faction. But this is actually hurting us quite a bit in regards to influence gain. Now, am I really worried about influence gain? Not really. Mostly that's stuff with like edicts at this stage that we want to use, and nothing really jumps out as something that I absolutely need. Like, we could do diplomatic grants. Trust growth, I don't think is going to get past the cap, though. I mean, it'll make the growth faster, I'm going to guess, but that's about it. It also gives us trade attractiveness, of course, which may increase our income. You know what? I'll try and do this just to see what happens. So, we're at 29. Let's see if that goes up dramatically. May not, but we do have agreements with these two, and they're relatively close by, so maybe that trade attractiveness will matter. Okay, we went up a couple points. Hey, was it worth that 100 of influence? I don't know, I guess. Now, that could have been something else going on, somebody shifting from one job to another. It's kind of hard to say.
Research actualized.
Unless it's actually listed here in the tooltip. Let's see. Produced, base, trade. I would have had to look at the trade before we did that. Okay, well, we got to research. That's important. All right, so we got our shields. Now, we do have the scientists to give us a bonus to these kind of things. And I think UV laser sounds like a good call because it does give us our next level of laser, giving us better damage output. We also have the planetary FTL inhibitors, which I think is pretty important. We'd want to put that at Aludra and Gorum for sure, as well as possibly Zafa. But at the meantime, I think the lasers are the higher priority. Research complexes, another priority. We do actually have the gas to do this. And now that I think about it, this is actually probably the better choice. So I'm going to go with this. The lasers are tempting, but this is going to give me every kind of tech at a faster rate. So we better do it. So, yeah. Especially as we have the resource that we need to upkeep and build these things in the first place. So, yep, let's do this. It's also a cheaper tech, so it should get done faster. And as a matter of fact, we see we got a big bonus. Probably our research agreements are helping in there as well. Yeah, they are. I'm very glad that we have those research agreements because they've been helping us quite a bit. Some of the tech we're a little bit more lacking on, and it's more just a factor of like how lucky do you get with the choices that are available to us, because obviously I would have done certain things a little bit faster if they'd been available earlier. How is the war going? Because we are at about that time where we're going to need to wrap up the video, but yeah, they're really pulling ahead now. The attackers are doing really badly because there's a difference of 24 at this stage. So I have a feeling that this war is not going to go the bad guys' way, which is good. That's what we want. But in any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.